Welcome to this week's vlog. If you've been watching my vlogs over the last 2 or 3 weeks, you'll know that about 3.5 weeks ago I was out running early one morning and for some reason tripped and landed heavily on my right shoulder, and it transpired that I'd fractured my collarbone. So for about 3 weeks I was having to wear a sling to just protect my collarbone and my arm area, and just recently I've been able to take that off, so I'm just gingerly trying to manage without it. But one of the things I realised is how much you come to rely on a particular part of your body. And just to go back several years, a lot of years now, I was at a graduation ceremony. I think it might have been my own or one of our family, and one of the speakers was the chief exec of a major UK bank. I think it was Barclays, but I may be wrong there. And he was saying, I can't remember why he said this, but he was saying that in the bank's history, they wouldn't employ anybody who was left-handed, kind of discriminated against. And left-handed people, I think it's about 10% of people are left-handed in the UK, but in history, they've been heavily discriminated against. In fact, a lot of children I know who are left-handed were made by their teachers to write with their right hand, which is unnatural to them. And until recently, I'm right-handed. I rely heavily on my right hand. Yes, I use my left hand for some things, but my right hand, it seemed to me, was the most important one. So when I landed on my right shoulder and was now unable to use my right hand for most purposes, I had to rely heavily on my left hand, and I began to realise how important that left hand is to me, even though perhaps I haven't regarded it as such in the past. And that got me to thinking about something that St. Paul wrote to the church in Corinth. It's a well-known illustration that he uses about the body of Christ. That means those who believe in Jesus, like a body. It uses the illustration of a human body. And let me read something of what he writes. A person's body has more than one part. It has many parts. The foot might say, I am not a hand, so I'm not part of the body. But saying this would not stop the foot being part of the body. The ear may say, I am not an eye, so I'm not part of the body. But saying this would not make the ear stop being part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, the body would not be able to hear. If the whole body were an ear, the body would not be able to smell anything. So God puts the parts in the body as he wanted them. He made a place for each one of them. So there are many parts, but only one body. So the eye cannot say to the hand, I don't need you. And the head cannot say to the foot, I don't need you. No, those parts of the body that seem to be weaker are really very important. And I've realised that with my left hand. The parts of the body that we think are not worth much are the parts that we give the most care to. God put the body together and wanted the different parts to care the same for each other. If one part of the body suffers, then all the other parts suffer with it. Or if one part is honoured, then all the other parts share its honour. All of you, and he's writing to the Corinthian Christians, all of you together are the body of Christ. Each one of you is part of the body. And it just got me really thinking about that, how sometimes we may think about another person as, that person's not got great gifts, not all that important. Or we may think about that as of ourselves, that we see other people with great gifts of this, that and the other, and we think, I'm not really important. But what Paul is saying there, and what I've been reminded about following the period when I've not really been able to use my right hand, my right arm, is that every part of the body has its place, is important. So within the life of the church family, it may seem that some are more noticed by what they do, how they serve within the life of the church, but everybody has a part to play. Everybody is important. We should not look down on anybody. So if you think that you're not really an important part of the body of Christ, or you're not important in your life, that you look down on yourself, don't do that. God sees you as precious. God sees you as important. God has a plan and a purpose for your life. In fact, I've got a little plaque on my desk in front of me that has that well-known verse from the book of the prophet Jeremiah. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. God has a plan for my life and for your life. In his eyes, we are important, as every part is important. So don't look down on yourself, and don't look down on others. We're all valued and precious in God's sight. So looking forward to getting my right hand back into full working order in due course. But in the meantime, I value my left hand. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening today.